Yo, mother grabbers. John Fitch here, and we have another episode of John Fitch Knows Nothing. And man, we had a pretty spectacular weekend of fights, I must say. There were some really great fights from Bare Knuckle Redemption, right? In Colorado, I believe it was Colorado. Wait, was it in Colorado? But yeah, they were the full redemption on the bare knuckle card. The Mexico card, the Mexico card didn't quite deliver. I don't think the athletes really quite understood the rule set, didn't have the experience. And sometimes it just happens, but whatever. They came back hard and fast. Everybody in the card this past weekend finished their fights on Friday. It was a lot of spectacular violence. If you did not get to watch, you're missing out. You're missing out on the bare knuckles. Get the bare knuckles. Watch the bare knuckles. Live it, love it, be it. Knuckles to the face. I started teaching at a new place on Wednesday nights and moved locations for the wrestling class. I had a wrestling class, so I'm at Claudia Franca's on Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings now. And there's a Claudia Franca brown belt who's actually going to be fighting in the bare knuckles. Maybe I can see about getting him on the show or something. Yes, Zach loves cats. You are correct about the Strickland and Costa fight. We will get to that. I got a little video I put in my story on my Instagram that I thought was pretty funny. My girlfriend thought it was hilarious, so I'll share it with you guys when we get to those fights. But we got a lot of fights to talk about, so let's talk about the bare knuckles. It was a great show. I think I want to share some of this. We won't go over all of them, but we'll go over the top ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about 6 fights that I really enjoyed in the mains. Right? Starting off with Finley and Lopez. Lopez has a really nice mustache. Uh-oh. What happened there? All right, weird. Had a camera just something weird. Sorry, but Lopez, magnificent mustache, but the mustache was not enough to carry him through the fight. It was not. Finley is a Indiana native. I should have known because he's handsome, and fighters from Indiana are remarkably handsome. They are not just for fighters in general. World population, the handsomest men on the planet are fighters from Indiana. Go figure. I believe Finley is from the Nappy City, so he's got some grit. He was able to drop Lopez 3 times on the way to his TKO victory. In the third. Finley, that was his first win, 1-3. Lopez, it was his first fight. This was a prospects, so there were some first timers coming out there. But everybody who fought seemed like they had a lot of skill, high skill level, even for it being their first. A lot of times, guys in their first fight doesn't always go so great. So Lopez's first fight didn't go so great, but don't count him out because it's different. Bare knuckles is different. It's just different. It's not the same as the 4 ounce. It's not the same as the 12 ounce or 10 ounce or 8 ounce. It's just not. It just hits different. So don't count these guys out. But Finley with the win. Then this fight was pretty great. Figueroa is a young buck, 22-year-old from Denver. And he looked like a seasoned vet. He looked very skilled. He was great with keeping his range, finding his target. And he beat the brakes off of Hudson. Hudson came out and tried his best, but the young buck was too much, man. I'm excited to see what this guy can do moving forward. See who he fights next. Was he lightweight? I wish they just put the weights, the actual numbers next to them, because I get it. It's too many names of things. Because lightweight and bare knuckles and boxing is different than lightweight and MMA, and I'm just so confused. I have a very scarred brain, and it's too many words. It's too many words to remember. The numbers are easier. The numbers are just easier for me. Can we start doing that? People who are in charge of that, can we just put the thing? I don't even care. You can do pounds and then kilos right next to it. I don't care. That's fine. I it's easier for me to look at the kilos, quite honestly, to look at the kilos and do the math in my head than it is to say lightweight. Lightweight in boxing is what? Let's do it. Somebody who's in charge. Who's in charge of that? Can somebody handle that for me, please? That would make my life so much better. Really does. But he's a stud, and we're gonna have to keep an eye out for him because this guy is young and he didn't decide to go to boxing. He didn't decide to go to MMA, Muay Thai. He's straight out the gate. Say, nope, man, this is where I am. This is where I feel comfortable. This is what I want to pursue. Knuckle on bone competition. That's some man shit right there, fellas. That is. Oh, did I just cuss in the first 10 minutes? I might lose my monetization on that. My internet's been acting weird, man. It sucks. My internet sucks. Xfinity, you suck. You suck. I'm paying almost $200 a month for crappy internet. It's so stupid. And I live in Silicon Valley. This is supposed to be like the most technologically advanced. Oh, there's cyber trucks around and cyber dorks driving their cyber dork truck. But I can't get good internet. I can't get good internet. This is communist California, guys. Everything's terrible and falling apart. They paint it up to look nice. It's like a movie set. Everything's a movie set here. They want you to think it's all nice and looks good and everything's cool. And, oh, we got 5-star Michelin reviews. Oh, yeah, but you paid for them. You got cockroaches and rat traps right next to where you keep the food. You're not fooling me. You got needles on your beach. You're not fooling me. That was good. That was good, though. It's promising. It's promising. See what he's going to be doing. Sayers and Morrison. Two bigger guys. Two bigger guys throwing down. Excuse me. Lumumba Sayers. Lumumba Heavy Hands Sayers. Senior Sayers. Right? Heavy Hands Senior. Okay. Lumumba. Lumumba sounds like a cool nickname. Oh, I'm coughing. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna cough in your ears. But this was fast. It was fast. Landed. I think it was a straight one. It was a straight. I think it was a straight right and a hook. 2-3, straight 2-3. Oh, sorry, I got a call. Okay. I don't know what it was. I got a little itch in my throat for a second. But Lumumba came out Morrison hard and fast. I gotta say, big trophy for Jeremy Morrison with the nickname. The nickname. This is great. The Mormon Meteor. The Mormon Meteor. That's great. I love it. Heavy Hand Senior and the Meteor, the Mormon Meteor. That's great. But the nickname was not enough to get him through. It was not. Lumumba just hit hard. It's 12 seconds. I believe it was 2 punches, and we're donezo. Morrison, that was his first fight. Fell to 0-1. I don't know if that was Lumumba's first fight, though, or not. Then you had Schultz, right, and Armas. Armas was the last second in replacement, and I think it's got to be a hard thing to do to come in there last second to fight a veteran in the bare knuckles. But both these guys have had fights before. Schulte goes to 2-1, 32-second win, and Armas drops to 2-3. So that was his 5th fight. So he's getting some miles. Co-main event. Josh Hellboy Huber and Andrew Golden Boy Yates. Huber looked outstanding. Yates, he came to fight. He came forward hard, threw hard punches, but he was a little bit wide and was missing. Huber was just too clean, landing hard punches inside, and got the job done. Dropped him a number of times, right? What was it? 5 times? 5 times, yeah. He had 5 knockdowns. Huber had 5 knockdowns. Yates kept getting up. Cheers to him. Tough guy. Kept coming. He didn't have the skill set. He didn't have the skill set to deal with Huber. He's tough enough, but he's got to dial in the defense. He's got to straighten out those punches. Those braids were on point though. They looked good. I'm thinking I might. Should I do it just once just to see? He had me thinking about it. Main event: Vandermeer and DP. Yeah, not Deppy. DP. Sawyer DP and Keegan, the career killer Vandermeer. And Vandermeer has looked tough in previous outings. He's looked really good. He's 2-2 right now. I was a little bit surprised at how easily, I don't want to say easily, but how DP handled him. He handled him pretty well. I think 3 knockdowns in the first round with a stoppage at 133. Hits hard. He looked good. He's asking for a title shot next. Give it to him. But again, it says what? It says 92 kilograms, 202, 4 pounds. What's the weight class? See, they list the weights here they weighed in at, but they don't say what the thing is. Right? It's cruiserweight. Yeah, cruiserweight. Is cruiserweight in boxing the same cruiserweight in bare knuckles? And is that 205? Is that the weight? Cruiserweight? I think cruiserweight's 205 and no, it's not. It's lighter than that. It's like 90 something, isn't it? 190 something? Because 205 is light heavy. Or am I wrong? See, I don't know, man. That stuff's too confusing. It needs to be across the board the same, or just they call them by the weights. We don't have names for the weights in wrestling. It's just the weight. That's the weight. That's what it's called. I wrestled 172. Wrestled 184. Those are just the weights. 197. You don't have a fancy name for it. Why can't we just say the number? But yeah, that was the bare knucks. I hope you're all watching the bare knucks because the bare knucks are great. They're fun. We had a little bit of a slow fight card with the Mexico fight, but that was kind of a one-off. I think that was probably, and I don't want to mean hard to these guys because it happens sometimes. It just happens sometimes. But it was one of the lesser exciting cards that I can remember ever. All right. Next, we got to talk about the 5-on-5 boxing. Did you guys watch the 5-on-5 boxing? Because it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Oh, but boxing's dead. Boxing's dead. Boxing's so corrupt. Blah, 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 blah. It was the best card of the weekend. Sorry, it was. There were some great fights in UFC. Bare Knuckle had some great fights in action, but for skill and excitement levels, the 5-vs-5 boxing was top dollar. It was the best. It was absolutely the best. Coming in with the Ray Ford and Nick Ball fight. Ray Ford kind of reminded me of a Roman Decker, right? Is that right? Diamond Decker, kickboxer. He's kind of stocky, kind of thick. He kind of came in like this, right? He threw, kind of elbows wide, which allowed Ball to land some vicious body shots. Ball was long and slick and a very good technical boxer. He was doing really well, but Ryan Ford just kept pressing forward and getting in his face, hitting him with a volume, getting in with these uppercuts, throwing some big overhands. He landed some really good punches, staggered Ford. Staggered Ball a little bit, cracked him a number of good times. But for Nick Bell was able to use his boxing, use his skills, use his length to stay at range, use his movement, and he eked out the decision. It was a close fight. It was a really close fight that was outstanding. It was an outstanding fight. As soon as I was like the first fight I caught of a 5-on fight because it was an earlier card. I had my class in my wrestling class. We didn't get home till about noon or so. And I'd missed the other fights. I came in and this fight was just getting started. And I was hooked because I was like, should I just take a nap until Deontay Wilder fights? Because a lot of times the undercard in these boxing matches aren't that great. This is the answer. The biggest criticism that the biggest legitimate criticism to boxing that people make of why MMA is better, why UFC is better, is because the fight cards, you only get 1 or 2 good fights on the boxing card. Well, this 5 versus 5 style is they're putting some serious killers up against each other because the promoters are actually gambling on whose guys are better. My 5 guys are better than your 5 guys. They had a point system, a scoring system for knockouts, decisions, draws, and whoever's team, kind of like with wrestling, like amateur wrestling, college and high school wrestling, folk style, whoever's team got the most points, that one won. And there was like a $3 million wager basically on that between the promoters. Now, that's one thing I didn't like was there was way too much focus on the 2 promoters. I don't care about you. Shut up, Hearns, and whatever your name is. I like the idea of this team versus that team. That's cool. I like that. And then it gave us a great card because they had the 5-on-5. Those guys were all killers because they were trying to get their team to win. And then they also threw in the Bivol fight as a little extra bonus. I don't know if that was originally supposed to be part of it. And then his opponent pulled out and they had to find a new guy. So they didn't make him a part of the 5-on-5. I'm not sure what happened with that exactly. But Bivol was a stud. Nick Ball got the decision over Ford. That was great. Next fight, Hamza Shiraz and Austin Williams. This was another great fight. Hamza was very skilled, very tough, very long. He's a very long guy. Austin Williams pushed the pace, got inside. He was winning some rounds, was doing some damage. Both of these guys had I can't remember who had 1 and who had 2, but they each had knockouts in the 12th round. So they had been there before late in the rounds and been able to do damage and finish fights. They fought hard all the way until that 11th round where Shiraz was able to get the stop on Williams. But Williams was a tank, big muscular guy. Shiraz was like long, lean, not real bulky with it. And he was able to weather the storm of Williams. Williams got a little bit tired, and I think, that skill that Hamza had was enough to overpower the strength. Williams only was 16-0, I think, so a little bit less experienced than Hamza, but I was thoroughly entertained with that fight. Then you had the Dimitri Bivol and Malik Zanad. Zanad, like I said, was a late replacement for his original opponent. And was that Benavidez? Was that who they were going to have him fight? Benavidez pulled out? I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. I saw somewhere that he might be fighting Benavidez in the upcoming summer. But Bivol is a Terminator. He doesn't make mistakes. He stays in the pocket. He hits hard. He's solid. Zanad for being the underdog and coming in short notice, did not pull any punches. He did not seem like he was afraid of that, them exchanging and getting in there. He went after it, and he just didn't have enough to deal with Bivol. Bivol's a stud, man. He has a win over Canelo. Of course, he's bigger than Canelo. Canelo was trying to get like an extra title at another weight class, reaching for legacy. But Bivol's a stud, man. What a monster. Hrgovic and Daniel Dubois. And Dubois was just relentless and was able to pour out a lot more than Philippe could handle. Ended up with a doctor's stoppage. He'd hit him so many times that it was just too much for his face to take. And the doctor ended up calling it at round 8. The main event was such a wild matchup because this guy, Zhilei Zhang, is 6'6", so he's as tall as Wilder. Wilder's also 6'6", but he's 280 pounds. He's like 281, 282 pounds. That's ridiculous. The way he can move and punch as somebody that big, that's crazy. That is crazy. And Wilder was only 214 pounds. He gave up 70 pounds. 70 pounds. That's a problem I have with boxing. There needs to be another weight class in there. There needs to be. There's just too many guys that are on the big end of 240 to 300 pounds. There needs to be something around that 230 mark, 225. We really do. I think we're missing out on some great fights because of that. Zach loves cats. Wasn't that how IFL was back in the day? Not really, no, because it was all one promotion. There were different teams, but it was one promotion. So it's not the same. It's just not the same. You have one person signing the contract, signing the deals, picking the teams, picking the match. It's not the same. You need, because that's how actual leagues, how you have to be an actual league. You have to have multiple owners working together and something overseeing it, right? That's the fix to combat sports. Is these promoters need to come together and form an actual league. That's the fix. That's the rising tide that lifts all ships. It really is. Everybody benefits from that. All the promoters benefit. All of the fighters benefit. Get 30 to 40 promoters together. Have them all come together. They can do their own shows on their own. But you have mandatories. You have mandatories where, hey, this ranked guy has to fight this ranked guy at least once a year, or once every 6 months, something like that. You have to have so many cross-promotional events. You can have one TV deal for everybody then, or a couple TV deals for everybody, and then is you just make more money. You make more money. Everybody makes more money. The athletes get collective bargaining agreement. That's really the best thing. But yeah, Deontay Wilder. So giving up 70 pounds, he still went in there, went after this guy. He seemed like he was a little bit tentative to let that right hand go. I was hoping he would land that uppercut. I felt like the uppercut was there because Zhilei was keeping his hands up high because he was worried that overhand. That's Deontay's best punch. He throws that wild overhand with tons of crazy power, knocks people out, sent him to the shadow realm. And he kind of was over protecting it. I think he should have feinted, whack, and maybe he could have caught something. But he was really tentative. And I think he was tentative because of how much power a guy that has 70 pounds on you has. And you saw it with the knockout. That's what happened. It was really bizarre because he threw that punch and it just barely grazed him. And it hit him so hard, it turned him around. He was like, wait a minute, what's going on? What happened? Did somebody throw something from the audience? Because he didn't see it. It clipped him good. He got turned around, and then Zhang with the bang. Bang-a-dang diggy, right? And just floored him as he turned around. He's like, oh, whack. Could taste his teeth. Big knockout. But Wilder, man, 214. Do you think he could get down to that the next weight down and not fight heavyweight. I mean, it'd probably be less money than heavyweights. You make a lot more money at heavyweight, it seems, because it's more of a spectacle. But bro, when you're fighting guys 70 pounds heavier than you, I might be thinking about that weight cut at that point. That's wild. But that was the 5-on-5 and Queensberry buried Matchroom. Absolutely buried Matchroom. They were close fights though. They were close fights. It wasn't a blowout. It was on the points, but it was a bury. They buried him. Queensberry ja. We'll get to the UFC now. Anakin is asking, John, what do you think of the new gloves? You think they're causing less KOs with the way they've been some decisions in 300? No. The gloves suck because they're monopolized. The UFC has the glove. They make the glove. They provide the glove. There's no choice. No fighter gets a choice. There's no decision between the fighters. They don't have any say. They don't have any say in the glove. Boxers, they can actually choose and negotiate which gloves that each team can be like, oh, I want to wear winning. Oh, I want to wear ringside, or I want to, they get to choose the glove that's best for their hands, the one that works best for them. There's no options. There's absolutely no options in the UFC. You're forced to wear their glove. Right? I think anytime you have a monopoly on something, the quality always drops because competition is what makes things great. If there's no competition and one dork is like, oh, well, I'm going to design the glove, and there's no competition for other people with other ideas to make the glove, you get a shit product. You get an absolute shit product. And quite honestly, UFC is becoming a very shit product. Very, very shit product. Because I mentioned earlier that if boxing promoters did this, if they loaded their cards more with more of these champions and more of these title fights on the cards, or these top 10 guys on the cards, it would be better than what UFC is doing now. Because a lot of UFC cards today, they might not have a single fight on the card where you know anybody or you care. So the whole idea is, oh, UFC is so much better because the cards are so much deeper. That's a thing of the past. That hasn't been a thing for over 10 years. At least it hasn't been a thing. So I don't know about that argument. And the fact that UFC's business model is built on corruption, you can't talk about, oh, boxing has corrupt things that happen sometimes. And the business model is built on corruption, and everything that happens is corrupt afterwards. Like everything that happens in MMA is corrupt. There's nothing that's not corrupt in MMA because the business model is corrupt. When one entity owns the title, signs the long-term contracts, picks the fights, gives the rankings, decides on who gets press passes and who gets to report on stuff, and who gets access to the fighters. They have complete control, complete monopoly, completely dominated. Product is going to drop. Always does, always has. That's what history tells us. Monopolies are inherently evil. Like we have a separation of powers in our country because we know that a monopolization government power is bad. It's really bad. Creates tyranny. Okay? So wake up. Yeah, and the new gloves are supposed to help with eye pokes, but they're not. Like there was fights last night where the guys were doing this. Like who was it? Who was it? Put the face? What? Rob Rowe or whatever. He's like put his whole hand in the face. Like if you can do that, then the glove is it doesn't work. Failed experiment. You're gonna have to move on to something else because that's evidence right there that it just doesn't work. It's not gonna work. Jack Napier in the house, fellow Rule Zero alumni. What's up, buddy? Randy Brown, that's the one. Randy Brown. Yep, those gloves did not end any of that face poking. Wasn't happening. Oh, man. So let's get into the UFC. Okay, UFC. Andre Lima, Raposos. I didn't pay much attention to this fight. I think, I don't know, Lima got bit in his last fight and he won a DQ because he got bit. But then he went and got a tattoo of the teeth, of the bite mark. And I'm just like, yeah, haha, it's kind of funny, but like, is that really what you want to be known for the rest of your life? Yeah, I'm the guy, I'm the only guy who got bit in the UFC. That's it. That's who you want to be. Remember me, guys? Remember the bite? Like, really? Is that? I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny, but I don't like. Is that really how you went? That's your legacy now. That's your legacy now. Like what you're gonna have to do to overcome that. I just let it go. But yeah, it happened, whatever. But I'm doing this now. I'm this fighter. I'm winning this. I'm undefeated. I don't know. I think it's the wrong approach. I think it's the wrong approach. Just not how I would have handled it. And then the women's fight. I'm tired of this fucking stripper garbage. They win, so they can twerk. Fuck out of here. Mickey Gall and Basil Hafez. This was an outstanding fight. Absolutely outstanding. Mickey Gall, wow. He looked fantastic, striking really clean. This was a hard fight to call. I had Hafez coming out fast in the first round, winning the first round, doing some really good stuff, but Mickey wasn't completely dominated. He had some shining moments. Second round was close. It was so close that I could flip a coin. I'd have to watch it back several times to really decide who won that round. And then Gall won the third round. So it's a close fight. And it was a close fight. Hafez came out with the victory. I would have been happy with either guys getting the nod because it was spectacular. Dawson, I missed the Dawson fight. I can't remember what I was doing. Something with the kids. Almeida and Romanov. Now, this fight really irritated the shit out of me because the announcers, like, all they were doing was shitting on Almeida the whole time. Oh, he's got to do more than this. And they were like praising Romanov for laying on the bottom, closing his guard, and stalling. I do not understand this mentality. Oh, if he holds on to him long enough here, they'll stand him up. Yeah. Almeida really needs to do more. What? How about the guy on bottom stalling does more? How about you say, hey, Romanov really needs to put the gas on and try to escape, sweep, or submit from here. This is terrible. He's just laying there. Why is he just laying there? Why is he just holding on? Why is he keeping his guard closed? Why isn't he doing more to get away? Where is that talk? Everything was, Almeida, he's going to have to change a lot of things around if he's going to go anywhere. Oh, this is just terrible. Oh, he's not doing anything from here. The guy on bottom is literally holding on, holding gloves, locking hands around him, closing guard. He's stalling, 100% stalling situation, doing nothing. He's doing nothing, laying on his back, getting fucked. And somehow Almeida has the problem. It's the stupidest shit ever. You guys are retards. DC, Joe Rogan, you're retards. Sorry. It's dumb. Oh, he's clearly doing a lot by holding on and doing nothing. Almeida really needs to do more. He needs to do so much more. Like, he's the one who's trying to do stuff. He's the one who's trying to finish and progress and move and throw punches. The guy on bottom who's holding gloves, locking around the body, keeping his guard close. He is stalling. Yellow card. Give him a yellow card. Tell him, hey, you got to move, bottom guy. You got to move. If you don't move, I'm going to give you another yellow card. Oh, 2 yellow cards? Okay, you got to move. You don't move, I'm taking a point away. I took a point away. If you don't move now, I'm calling the fight. DQ'd because you're stalling. It's so stupid. I do not understand this praise of stopping the fight to get a stand-up. But luckily, Almeida transitioned to a position to finish. 2.5 minutes, got out of there. And I was just like, to the announcers. Come on. It's so degrading. Like the guy who's doing the most work and doing the most and making the fight, the guy who's making the fight, you're shitting on. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Kapilov and Almeida. Cesar Almeida. Kapilov struggled a little bit with Almeida because Almeida had some power. He threw some big power. So he had to throw, he had to go back into his wrestling. He had to get into the clinch. He had to fight for the takedowns so he wasn't getting hit because he was getting hit hard. Cesar was dropping bombs. He was dropping bombs. And Kopylov did not want to keep taking those big shots. So he had to work hard to get into the grappling game. Almeida worked hard to try to get back up, to get back to throwing big punches. And Kopylov was able to pull together a win. We'll see what's up for him next. Then we get into the main card. Some of you guys had mentioned Randy Brown. Randy Brown looked good, but he was poking. He was a big poker, and that ref was a joker. Boom, boom. Thank you very much. He stopped the fight for a second because the guy Dos Santos got poked in the eye, but they didn't give him time to recover, which is a no-no. Because you either didn't see it and you don't think he got poked in the eye and you said, nah, just fight. I didn't see it. You fight. Or if you stop it, you got to give him the 5. You got to give him the 5 to recover. I would file a formal complaint just because there's no telling what will come of it. Probably nothing, because commissions really don't give a shit about you or your health or safety or anything. And yeah, I would still complain. Look, man, I got poked repeatedly. I didn't get recovering time. It was not a fair situation. I would like this to be ruled a no contest. Probably not going to get it, but at least make the complaint. At least file the complaint, because that was wrong. Herzog had to talk to the ref and explain the mistake he made. So there is an understanding between the refs that, yeah, he made a mistake. He was wrong. He was in the wrong. And you have a guy who lost a decision. Could it have had a factor? Could it have played a role in him losing? It's hard to say. Maybe call it a no contest, maybe run it back. But it seems like the real loser in that fight was the new gloves. The new gloves. Get rid of them. They don't work. Whatever you did to put that together, to put those together and make people use those, doesn't work. Didn't work. Go back to the drawing board. Do something else. Now, if you didn't have a monopoly on the gloves like everything else, you'd have competitors competing to make the best possible glove. But you don't. So here we are in IPOK land. Welterweight bout. Nico Price. Nico and I share an up kick knockout. I believe that's Nico, right? Am I getting that right? Somebody look that up and let me know. Yeah, Nico and Morano, they fought once before. Nico Price knocked him out. This time he could not knock him out. And this is another kind of sloppy kickboxing fight. I think mix it up. Sometimes take the guy down, because Morano was tired. He was very tired. And sometimes it's good to knock a guy down and make him get up, because that's exhausting. It really is exhausting. Even if you don't do anything, if you can get easy takedowns and knock the guy down and make him fight a little bit to get up, it's exhausting. Like, you know, have you ever done up down? You guys done up downs before? That's a workout. You know, if you can make a guy put a guy down on the ground and make him get up 10 times, he's going to be a little bit tired. It's tiring. Go try it. Go to your living room, knock yourself down, get up 10 times. See if you're a little bit tired. I bet some of you guys will be tired. And then once they get more tired, their hands come down a little bit. It's easier maybe to knock them out. And then also the feints. You get some easy takedowns. They can work hard to get up. You feint. Uh-oh, here comes the takedown. Drop their hands. They try to defend. Pop, pop, pop. Feint, head kick. There's a lot of things you can do. Mix it up. That's why there's a mixed in the martial arts part of what's going on. Next, Kevin Holland and Michael Oleksichuk. What a minute and 34 seconds we witnessed. Mikhail came in with a big overhand, floored Holland. It looked like the fight was going to be over, but Holland used his athleticism and those long legs to secure an arm. Mikhail was greedy. He saw the knockout right there. He got greedy, chasing the knockout, forgot about his arm. He wasn't paying attention. He didn't pay attention to the alligator on the riverbed, and the alligator snatched his arm. But Michael gets an irrevocable man card. He gets an irrevocable man card, okay? He got his arm dislocated. He got it popped. Kevin Holland's looking at the ref like, bro, it popped. It popped. What do I do? It's like Gumby arm now. What do I do? Oleksichuk is like, what? Who cares? Who cares? I don't. It's a flesh wound. It's a flesh wound. This means nothing. It's merely a flesh wound. Freaking Monty Python. It's a Monty Python skit. It's a flesh wound. I'm fine. I can fight. What a stud. He's yelling at the ref. What? What? I'm fine, man. Oh, man. Should I tell a really terrible joke? Should I tell a really terrible joke? Okay. So I don't know why, but when I was a kid, like there was like Polish jokes, Polak jokes. We didn't even know what that was. We didn't know Polak was a Polish person. We had no idea what it was. It was a imaginary thing somewhere. We had no idea. So how do you get a one-armed Michael Oleksichuk out of a tree? You wave. Sorry. I'm sorry. I had to do it. But what a stud. What a stud. Arm snapped, flopping around, yelling at the ref. Why did you stop it? Why'd you stop it, bro? Irrevocable man card. Absolutely irrevocable man card. That dude, wow. They don't make guys that tough anymore, really. You know, when I fought Polaris and he popped my knee, like I waited till it popped to tap, but I wasn't like, oh, it hit bending backwards, my leg flopping around. What a stud. Oh, slow news day. What's up, buddy? He says he was only on the tree because he was raking leaves. Why was that even a thing? Why was that even a thing when I was a kid? Is that like an old boomer leftover that they're making fun of him? I don't know why. I've only met solid, cool Polish people, so I never understood the whole thing. Why? I remember watching Barney Miller, and Wojciechowicz was Polish, and they made jokes about him sometimes. I just didn't get it. Larry, CTM. Yeah, you didn't get notified because YouTube hates me. I don't play by the rules, and I don't really give a shit. New UFC gloves cost $250. That's what a ripoff. Just because somebody puts a price tag on something doesn't mean it actually has value of what the price tag is, guys. You set the price, right? You set the price. It's not worth it to you. It's not worth it. Like that's garbage. I'm not paying that for a glove that doesn't even do the job it's supposed to do. Yeah, I saw that. The letters came off, peeled off the gloves. How embarrassing. Stripper says, I think attacking tanks with horseback might have something to do with it, but what do I know? I mean, the enemies attacked helicopters with bow and arrows and spears, and they won. So, I don't know. I don't know. You seen the Afghanis rifles? They're like a rubber band and a rock. They still kicked our ass. And Russia's. Co-main event. Co-main event. Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa. What a horrible fight. What a horrible, absolutely retarded fight. It is terrible. You've got a big muscular grappler who refuses to grapple. And Sean Strickland doing some weird marching nutcracker dance the whole time. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Fox Wolf, one arm Polak lost his arm killing Nazis. Oh, man. So we gotta do it. Okay. I did an impression. I've got an impression of Strickland. All right. So we gotta show this to you guys. It's good. It's good. Oh, here we go. Where is it? Oh, I gotta do this. Sorry, guys. All right, here's my Strickland impersonation. What's happening? This is retarded. I'm sorry, guys. Why did that happen? It's stupid. It worked before. I'm going to try it again. Let's go. That's the one. Yeah, here we go. What's happening? Oh my gosh. Guys. My this is stupid. What is happening? I do not know what's happening right now with my whole thing here. This is like frozen. My internet is ridiculous. So stupid, man. It's not working. Why is this not working? Cancel. There's a cancel button. That's so dumb. I'm so irritated with this nonsense. Can you guys still see me okay? There. Maybe. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. Where is this thing at? Share screen. This shouldn't be so difficult at all. I may have to go to a different thing to do this. Yeah, it's not working. Dumb. Sorry, guys. So annoying. I've got a different way to do this, though. That's what I'm going to do. Here we go. This will work better. It should work normally, but whatever. Okay, let's see. Is this going to work? Okay, here we go. This is my me practicing my strong Strickland. One more time. One more time. Is that accurate? I think that's pretty accurate. Mixed martial arts. Mixed. You're telling me the guy is just walking forward with the knees up. You can't close distance. You can't figure out a way around the knees. You can't kick calf underneath. You can't snatch a single. Strickland himself, he caught the leg a few times, didn't really follow up. I said it before, sometimes knocking somebody down and making them get back up wears them out, even without a lot of pressure. It's tiring. It hurt. It doesn't hurt, but it takes energy to get back up off the ground. You make somebody do that 10 times in a fight, they're going to get tired. They're going to slow down. You're going to have openings, more openings for your stand-up. I don't know. Also, Costa started off landing some decent leg kicks, and he landed a number of decent leg kicks throughout the fight. Why wasn't he upping the volume on that? When you land something that lands sweet, like you ride that shit until it's done, until you can't land it at all anymore. He kept landing. Strickland did check a couple hard ones. There's one where Costa had stumbled off of it. But like, yeah, those hurt. They hurt. Leg kicks hurt both guys. You know, they're going to hurt your shins. You're going to get banged up, but it's 25 minutes. So what? You're probably not going to break your leg. You're probably not. Probably. So just throw it. Bang, 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 bang. Hopefully your shins are tougher than his. That's what the Thais do. Like, they don't care if it hurts. Like, if it hurt me, it hurt you too. So I'm going to keep doing it because I'm tougher than you. That's the whole mentality. It's like, yeah, it hurt me as much as it hurt you, but I want to keep doing it because I think you're a pussy and I think I can keep kicking you and you're going to quit before I do. Why? Why not? Why not mix it up? Why not try something? I don't know, man. It's weird. He gassed too. He got all sweaty pretty quick. It's weird, man. I'm like, are these guys getting paid to just kickbox? Because one championship has small glove kickboxing. There are other events out there that have small glove kickboxing. It's better. Those guys are more skilled. No wonder Alex Pereira dismantled Sean Strickland so quickly and easily, because he's an actual world champion stand-up fighter, an actual world champion kickboxer. When you actually have an actual world champion top tier kickboxer in there, he destroys the majority of the so-called stand-up MMA guys. If they were that good, they could go somewhere else and be more dominant and probably make a lot more money. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. And they're just not fun fights to watch at all. They're not. No mixing it up. Main event. There was some mixing up in this fight, and it was glorious. This was a great fight. Dustin Poirier is a dog. He is. He fights hard, but he doesn't have any offensive wrestling, and I think that's a mistake. I will always say I think it's a mistake. How crazy would it have been if he just feinted something, hit a quick single leg, put him in the fence, or hit a quick foot sweep, take him down. You don't have to do much with it, but make him respect it. Make him worry about it. It opens up the offense. It opens up the striking. Islam changed it up. I think his stand-up was better, and he was able to land a lot more of his strikes because he was able to threaten wrestling. He's able to threaten and get in on the leg. And then when he needed to, he got the takedown. And I got to say, how sweet was that little ankle grab and that little ankle whip? He could have lost him completely, but he used his grip strength, shucked that leg through, got the takedown, and it was immediately on the head. That's the other thing takedowns do. Takedowns create opportunities. Takedowns create opportunities because right after you get the advanced position, things pop up. He saw that head and arm were right there, squeezed into that Darce choke, and put him away. Strikes come off of that stuff too. You take a guy down, he fights to his feet. You use that timing, throw something off of him coming up when he's not really looking for it. It creates opportunities. The wrestling, the takedowns, the clinch, it creates opportunities. And if you're just like, oh, I'm not doing that stuff, I'm just going to box. Like you're making it way easier for people to beat you. You're leaving a whole slew of tools. I'm sorry, not toys. A whole slew of tools in your work truck. You're just leaving them in the work truck, and you're like, nope. I'm just gonna take the hammer and my ruler, and that's it. You're gonna have a hell of a time dealing with your plumbing in that situation. All right, bring the whole bag. Bring the whole bag. Use things to set other things up. Wear the guy out. It was a good fight. Poirier fought hard. He made Makhachev work for it. Touched him up a little bit. Hit him with some elbows. Made Islam dig deep. He really did. He had to dig deep in order to find his way to that victory. Congrats to Islam. That was great. He's talking about moving up to 70. That'll be interesting because I never thought Islam was that big of a 55 pounder. You know, not anywhere near as big or as strong as Khabib. But why not? Like who's really left for him at 55? I mean, there's a lot of guys around. He could take a money fight. Let's say in the off chance that Conor McGregor actually stops drinking and doing cocaine long enough to actually fight at 303, which I don't think he's going to make it. I think they're going to sell as many tickets as they can, and they're going to pull him out of the fight the day before, the week of, the night of, something funny. They're going to get their money out of it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It just feels weird. But I think they're beating a dead horse with Conor because they don't really have a ton of other big stars. Nobody's anywhere close to as big as him. A lot of people are just tired of John Jones. Like, who else? Who's the next? Who's the next big sell? You know? Makhachev should be because of how dominant and how good he is. But I'm afraid there's a lot of people who just don't like him for some reason. I don't know. There's this weird dislike for the Dagestanis like Khabib and Islam. I don't understand why some of the fans don't like it. I think it's because they still do dominate with grappling, and people hate it. People hate how embarrassing it is for strikers to go up against these guys. It's really embarrassing because they're like, oh, well, wrestling doesn't really work. Well, you got a box there. You're not a real fighter if you wrestling. But then these guys who use grappling beat the absolute dog shit out of these strikers. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Cry harder. But yeah, man, I don't know what's left for Islam at 155. He moves up. It's more big money, but is it big money? Because they're all contracted into their pay anyways. So I don't know. Good weekend of fights though. Good weekend of fights. Very, very satisfying. We're gonna watch Cannonier and Imavov fight next week, next Saturday, June 8th. Is it June 8th? Saturday's June 8th? Oh no. Did I get my days mixed up? We'll see. Who else? Who else on this card? Yeah, it's not a very I don't know a lot of these guys. I guess we'll see. Prelims. Yeah. I don't recognize a lot of the names. It's looking... Oh, well. All right, guys. All right. What we got? Did I miss anybody? I missed anything big in the chat? I was reading other stuff. I'm looking at other stuff. So I was in my own head. Who do you guys think Strickland fights next? Is he back title contention, or is he gonna have to fight one more time? Is Duplessis healthy? What's he got coming up? Topher, that's a good point. Strickland's coach was telling him, go F him up, Sean. Costa's corner, like, don't give up. You can still become champ. Doesn't seem like Costa's got heart. Yeah. I get. He's only doing good when he's winning. He's only when he's got the momentum. But when he doesn't have momentum, I think, yeah, he doesn't really seem to have the heart. Brian T, I hate the current style of UFC kickboxing. It's terrible. Yep. Volt calling out Dustin in his recent video. Why? Just because it's a fun fight or something? Or is Volt trying to get back into title contention, or what's going on? Yeah, ice cold KO old. You're right. What happened to Muay Thai and MMA? So much missing clinch work. Yeah, these guys aren't even clinching. They're doing like karate kickboxing. Point sparring kickboxing. No clinch work, no takedowns, not mixing it up. It's weird, man. Some guys are just straight boxing too. They're not even bare knuckling it. At least in the BKFC, they clinch, throw punches in here like all crazy. Where's the urgency? I'm not seeing the urgency in a lot of these fighters either. You know, a lot of the fights seem like sparring. It seems like sparring matches. What's going on? It's wild. Islam ankle sweep in the fifth. Yep, excellent. Yep, killer instinct. That's a great way to put it. Ice KO Old says, I respect Islam for finishing the fight when he probably didn't need to. He has a killer instinct. Yep. He probably didn't want to get hit anymore. Like, he was in a precarious position because he had a nasty cut on his forehead and he was bleeding. And I don't trust. You can't trust those judges, that commission, that doctor. UFC's got their hands in everybody's pockets. You can't trust none of that stuff, man. Yeah, Islam's great. Respectful person, hard worker, discipline. Yep. He's all around good dude. All around good fighter. What, Dave Torelli was on meth yesterday? Who's Dave Torelli? Strickland has been calling out UFC hard. Not really. No, he hasn't. He's been saying some mild things. I'll believe these guys, like MMAFA exists. It's been around for more than 10 years. I'll believe any of these guys when they reach out, like, hey, can we talk? Can we just like have a conversation? What's going on? What can we do? What are the steps needed to make things better? What's broken? What's wrong? Why don't things work? Why is everybody struggling more now in this sport than in boxing? Why? What's going on? How about that? Saying a few little blah, blah, blah bullshit things in interviews that don't really have any weight or mean anything. Saying, oh, overall, I'm still happy. Yeah, they're paying me, blah, blah. Like, it's not hard. That's not hard at all. It's very soft. And a lot of what these guys are doing is they say just enough little soft stuff to get a few extra bucks or a couple extra tickets in their negotiations. They don't care overall about everybody else. And they're not doing anything to help anybody else. If they were, they'd actually be reaching out to people who are doing shit. We're not hard to find. You can come and ask some questions. You can put you in on the chat. Like, educate yourself. Just learn. Ask something. Like, but you don't even. It's crickets, man. It's crickets. People are afraid. It's weird. It's like they don't really care. When you take poor people and you give them a little bit of money, a lot of times it's hard to convince them that they're not getting enough money. It's like, well, I got so much more money than I used to have, so things must be okay. Well, yeah, but you're making a fraction of what you could be making. You're not operating in a free market. Connor's not going to win. There's no way. I don't even think he's going to fight. Hill versus Urberg soon. Should be interesting. Yeah, Islam does have a huge following in the Middle East. It's true. Conor will OD before the fight. If he doesn't get arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting somebody again, allegedly. Khabib is more dominant than Islam, though. He's more of a bear. He's strong. He's got a better chin. He doesn't have as much versatility as Islam, but he just comes through and smashes. Like he walks through guys that Islam has to use a lot of skill and technique and durability to beat, where Khabib just walked through and smashed. It's crazy. Crazy how good he was at what he did. Pride Fighting Championship Remembrance Month. Yep, everybody needs to go and watch the heavyweight Grand Prix and the light heavyweight Grand Prix this month. That's what we have to do. I think Khabib retired, quite honestly, because he was tired of the filth. He didn't want to deal with the UFC. He didn't want to deal with Dana. Like, he's actually a pretty religious Muslim guy, and I don't think he liked all the gross stuff. I don't think he did. I think he was just like, you know what, I did enough. I did what my father, had a plan for us to do, and I don't want to deal with this disgusting shit show anymore. All right, guys, that was a good show. It was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Got a little knowledge on the fights and my take on the fights, and I hope you guys learned something from my Strickland training series here. All right, let's go. Where's the can I not do it from here? That's dumb. Let's start it up. Time. Strickland training method. I make myself laugh. I don't know who needs entertainment when you make yourself laugh. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really like doing it. I may just watch myself do that 10 more times tonight just to have a laugh. Thanks for tuning in, my homies. If you're in the San Jose area, I'm teaching Wednesday nights at Claudia Franca BJJ 6:30 and doing Saturday wrestling at 11 a.m. there. 11 a.m. I will be at the same location. An hour of technique. We focus a lot on technique, camp style, seminar style, and then I open up for a half hour of open mat. It's a fantastic facility. It's really nice. Big arched ceilings, a lot of airflow, so it doesn't get too crazy. It doesn't get stuffy in there like most other gyms I've been in. I'm a big fan of the location. So if you're in town, stop by, check it out. I also have programs in the description below, guys, if you want to learn some fight stuff and you can't get to San Jose for a private or a small group, I'm also available for seminars. You guys can have me come out and teach you some of the dark arts. Follow my social medias because I post a lot of good, fun clips from the show and some funny memes that I enjoy, and some technique videos that can help you out. All right.